This week, while most people were celebrating Chanukah in the proper fashion, eating latkes and donuts, playing dreidel, and listening to the Maccabees on repeat, 20 students of mine at North Shore spent the week with me outside in the frigid cold, building sukkahs of their own design and making. And the school was abuzz with confusion. Students were puzzled, faculty perplexed. Sukkahs in December during Chanukah. Everyone came over to inform us, and I think only half jokingly, that it's the wrong holiday. Now, while truth be told, it isn't a coincidence that our building dovetailed with our learning of Masechet Sukkah in Shir. Still, I'd like to make the case that in some ways, these incredible North Shore students of mine celebrated Chanukah this year, inspired by its most ancient historical form, and that they would have done the Chashmonaim proud. To appreciate why, we turn to the Sefer HaMaccabim, a non-canonical work, not in our Tanakh, but it's cited by many rabbinic authorities like the Aruch HaShulchan. And there the story is told that after the Chashmonai guerrilla fighters returned victorious from war, having cast off the yoke of their oppressors, they laid down their swords and they picked up their lulavim. They celebrated a chag for 8 days, not because of the miracle of the oil, but kimechag Sukkot. They celebrated as if it were Sukkot. For they remembered that 2 months earlier they had missed it. To no fault of their own, they were in the mountains and the caves and the trenches battling the enemy. And so on the 25th of Kislev, when the war was won and the Mikdash purified, the Maccabees laid down their swords, traded their physical weaponry for their spiritual ones. They took the willows of the brook and the branches of palm trees, and they celebrated a Sukkos Sheni, if you will, a Sukkos deferred. And if you ask me, that may very well have been the Maccabees' bravest act of all. Their stiff-necked refusal to let Sukkot be just another casualty of the war, gone just like that. Now, echoes of this tradition reverberate throughout rabbinic texts and traditions and practices of Chanukah till today, but we could talk about that for another time. While there's no mention of Maccabees building sukkahs, I admit, I like to think that the students this week did them proud and internalized the message that they taught by example, that we ought to seize the second chances in our lives. But when those second chances don't seem so readily forthcoming, sometimes it means us taking the initiative, being bold enough and creative enough and daring enough and out of the box enough to do things like celebrate Sukkot in December, to do what's never before been done, to do the unpredictable, the unconventional, to ensure that we live our lives to the fullest. May we all have the Maccabean strength to do whatever it takes, not to let the things that matter to us most just slip away. A Freilich and Chanukah to us all.